Fellow Toastmasters and dear guests, this world was once a peaceful place till July 2015, when Rajamouli's directed movie Bahubali: The Beginning was released. With lots of excitement, action, drama, it came with the most mind-tickling question in the history of mankind. Why Katappa killed Bahubali? The question that disturbed the peace of mind. This question ruled the internet for over 2 years and became one of the most searched questions on Google. And you know what? Even Google could not answer. It is that question which made every beloved go from, "Honey, why do you love me?" to, "Honey, why Katappa killed Bahubali?" This question started haunting every Bollywood buff. I remember myself sitting in the movie hall watching this spectacular movie with loads of excitement and fun until the screen showed the scene where the loyal Katappa kills the brave Bahubali. Everyone was shocked. Everyone had the same expression, "Ja." Okay, mere hero. Everyone was looking at each other with the same question in their eyes. Why Katappa killed Bahubali? But we could get the answer only after a year from the next movie of the story. But we are Homo sapiens, special species, human beings. We don't wait for anyone to give answers to our questions. We couldn't wait for a year for Bahubali, the conclusion for this deadly question. We just want to be ahead of everything. And in this attempt, what do? We start using our brain to do something which it should not do. And that is to make assumptions. Ladies and gentlemen, assumptions are the beliefs and ideas that we hold to be true, but with no evidence. You may say that assumptions are a form of manipulation. In context to Kadappa killing Bahubali, people started coming up with their own assumptions, their manipulation. Someone saying Katappa was actually a fraud. He was pretending to be loyal just to get a chance to kill Bahubali. While we had some more intelligent people saying Katappa killed Bahubali because Bahubali sent him a Candy Crush request. And here we had Toastmasters with their own answers. That Katappa killed Bahubali because Bahubali didn't give him a speech slot in the meeting. Or Bahubali didn't come for the social gathering session organized by the club. Now I started feeling pity for this poor Kadappa, because people kept on assuming based on their thoughts, their views, their own limited knowledge, and didn't care if they were right or wrong. And this is what we all are used to. Whenever someone does something unexpected, something unusual, something rude, and bring us to shock, we don't give a chance to the other person to explain himself. The first thing we do is start assuming things. Now Kadappa was lucky that he got a chance to explain himself in Bahubali the conclusion. Otherwise we would have kept assuming and complicating the entire scenario. Someone rightly said that the worst mistake made in the history of mankind has been the unfortunate habit of making assumptions. I too have been a victim of this unfortunate habit. I remember this friend of mine who lived 10 minutes away from my home. We used to meet at a common place and go to college together on his bike. But one day, in our last university exam, I reached that place from where he used to pick me up, but I couldn't find him. I called him up, but no response. I panicked, because the time was running and I had to reach the exam hall. Hardly were there any cabs. I got into a bus, ran on the streets, and finally reached the exam hall just on time. Otherwise, I would have missed my exam and I had to repeat an entire year. Now, when I saw this friend sitting in the exam hall, I was shocked. I could clearly imagine how Bahubali would have felt when Katappa killed him. I was so disappointed that I didn't talk to him for over 2-3 months. Now the problem was that instead of going up to him and asking, "Why did you do this?" I let assumptions fill my mind and ruin our friendship, making the matter more complicated and worse. Until one day, when I really went up to him and asked him bluntly, "Hey, why did you do that?" He then explained me that he actually had come to pick me up, but there were cops on that day who didn't allow any bike or car to stand. And he forgot to take his phone, so he couldn't contact me. Now, after listening to this part of the story, I realized how fruitful it is to directly ask the person who has hurt you the question, why? Instead of keeping this why question to yourself and making assumptions and destroying the friendship or the relationship. And the problem with making assumptions is that we take it personally, we misunderstand, and that creates a whole big drama. Ladies and gentlemen, there must be a Katappa in your life who was once very good to you, but he or she did something unexpected that shocked you, whose behavior has hurt you. And there must be those why questions in your mind. Why did he do this? Why did she do that? But let me tell you one thing, that this question why is like this beautiful flower, which gets its true value only when it is given to the other person. So don't keep these questions to yourself. Take that step to give it to the other person.